control. You're on my mind, baby. Just move a little closer. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh, we're moving close together. Wanna make your body mine through the night. Hot and sweet through the night. Let's get out fast and slow. I wanna get to know you. I know a place where we can go. It's just around the corner. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh, we're moving close together. Wanna make your body mine. And I say, oh, it's the night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh, we're moving close together. Wanna make your body mine through the night. Ooh, ooh, yeah, baby. I wanna make your body mine. Wanna make your body mine. Make your body mine through the night. It's the night we'll both remember. Oh, hot and sweet. Oh, it's the night we'll both remember. Oh, hot and sweet. Oh, hot and sweet.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Night Live on this Thursday, and it's FTG Thursday and all that stuff. And, you know, getting home super late today. I mean, literally, I got home, came down here and started clicking buttons because it's just how it is. So I have a handful of things to talk about, and then maybe we'll just talk and go in the chat and figure out what you want to talk about. But I got a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm laughing. This mask mandate thing is got people shook. I mean, oh my God. Well, you'll see because that's my, it's kind of my main topic today. Although I didn't pull up a whole lot of different things. I pulled up a few things regarding the mask. People are mad about the mask on airplanes. I am just watching people. What I find humorous is the people bitching, acting like they're banning masks in airplanes, and they're not. They're not banning masks. They're just saying you don't have to wear them. People can wear them. If you want to go on a plane and wear your N95 mask, more power to you. I'm not going to do it. But then again, I'm one of 156 million survivors of these stupids. So anyway, got my cup of coffee, got my notes, got my few tabs open. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. How did that happen? There we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel on this lovely 21st of April, 2022. It is, did I say to you? I did. I hope everyone survived your 420 thingy-mabobber, you know? And, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know I'm muted. I'm trying to play that off, but I didn't do it very well. But because if some of you might still be high, your ears are not working, and sometimes the effects of too much marijuana makes it hard to hear. And then suddenly, if someone talks to you long enough, it kind of starts to sink in, and you start hearing things. So I'm pretty sure it's all all of you who just overpartook on a 420. You should be fine by now, right? So there you go. I'm hoping that you can remedy that situation if you haven't done so already. Anyway, I am here. I am alive. My voice is working again, and your ears are working again. I'm sorry. That shit's just funny to me. Anyway, let's just say good morning, and then we'll do the thing that we do here. Please hit the like button sometime during the show and all that stuff. Let me say hi to the people who are here. First in the chat today, and the only person who gets the bell just for being first would be Somnambul Nation. Thank you for being here. I am happy to see you in the chat, as you often are. And also, I think, let me guess, I'm just going to take a stab at this. Let me go check over here. Yes, and Somnambul Nation has also tweeted out the show, and I really appreciate that. Those of you who can tweet out the show and let people know we're here on your own social media, because that's how we grow. We grow because you guys help me. So anyway, thank you for being here. Also in the chat, Septus Wolf is here, Mike Savage, Blarg, Tyre Alexander is here. Good morning, Avocatus Diabli. Good morning to I gotta scroll down because you guys were chatty right at the beginning. Good morning, Neon Leon, K Shull, Jeffrey Russell Jr., Attack Alpaca's in the house, Jim Beam's back. Good morning, sir. Also, good morning to Rock Hopper, another friend from down under. Good morning, Rotten Corpse. And there's, who else there? 7 Cent Cricket. Awesome. Awesome. That's a new name I haven't seen. Welcome to the show. I wonder how many that are bitching the masks aren't mandatory are showing up at restaurants and taking them off. They just don't understand logic. You get just a logic ding right there. Congratulations. Also, good morning to D.I. Freighter Watcher and my favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies in the house. Also, H.P. Lovecraft, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Also, good morning to, let's see, I said Mike Savage. Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Live, is here. Came here to listen to Dawg Knight, not P. What? Wait, what? You didn't finish that sentence, Johnny. Oh, P-Dog mute. That's funny, Johnny. Ha ha. You're a funny motherfucker. Anyway, good morning also to, I say 7 cent Great Rock Hopper. Yeah, Jada Clay's in the house. And there's probably some other people here I haven't said hi to yet, but we'll figure it out as I go along. Jada Clay, what's up, brother? Did I say mother? I meant to say brother. And Tyler F. All right. And thank you, Johnny Hellcat, for sponsoring the show, even though I don't think I'm going to talk to you anymore. So there, you think that's funny? Ha! That's funny, or just as funny as this diaper rash. Anyway, so I thought I'd start, as I usually do, I like to start the show with just various news, but today I thought I would do news from a couple places that I don't normally pull news from. So I decided to keep, and I didn't leave the Gab tab open, and I don't usually really read Gab. I just do, I do notifications there. By the way, if you are not following me on social media, other than this particular channel, if you're on Twitter, mine's Gab, Parler, CloudHub, or Getter, I am also at Dawg Knight at those sites. Now, I did reserve my name at Truth Social, but I'm not thinking I'm going to join Truth Social. I just get so many emails from them because I reserved a spot, and I know there's a lot of people who are on there, and I know a lot of people have donated to it and shit, but unless it really takes off, like some of these others haven't really taken off they've kind of taken off, like Parler and Getter have fairly significant numbers. Mines I've been on for a long time, so I'm not going to get off Mines. Plus there's certain people I follow on Mines exclusively. CloudHub, I have no idea what it is. I'm on there, but I don't know. But there are places you can go if you get bumped or kicked off of Twitter, right? Or if you hate Facebook, I would say Mines. I like Mines a lot. But I'm not interested. I don't think I'm interested in being on Truth Social. I don't know. It's just weird. But today I have stories from those things. I'm giving you some examples of things that you can find on Mines, CloudHub, Parler, and Getter. And they just happen to be stories that were on my feed on those. And I don't go on them that much, but you know. Oh, Rock Hopper. In the United States, 420 has something to do with smoking weed. Also, 420 is Hitler's. Oh my God. Is it really? Well, that's weird. I guess you need to be high to be able to stand that. So anyway, so let's go to this particular post on Mines from something called Unacceptable, which, oh, wait a minute. This is full of memes. That's not really what I wanted to do. Holy shit. What the hell's going on here? That wasn't on it was on my feed a second ago. Let's see if I can go back to it with that. Well, so much for that idea. All right, let's do this. Give me a second. This is not even my own boomer slip. This is sometimes mine jumps the subjects on you, and there was one video I need to see because there was a guy talking to a city council that I wanted to show you. That was, he was a little upset, and unfortunately now I can't find it because I wonder if they deleted it. That's weird. Why would they delete this off of Mines though? Mines is. Well, this is terrible. This is not good. This is not making my show any better because the one I wanted to show you, it seems to be gone. Oh gosh, Taylor Lorenz. By the way, can we just get an FTG for Taylor Lorenz? I'm not really necessarily going to talk about her today, but just because of the wonderful things she does. Taylor Lorenz. She automatically gets an FTG. So just there you go. Don't let the date dictate your plans. No, do not let the date dictate your plans. Well, unfortunately, this guy, it was a funny thing too, and I just, I feel bad it's gone. Okay, we're going to skip I'll tell you what, here's what we'll do. I'll just take the next post I find on Mines. Okay, here we go. I don't need, you don't want to hear about Timcast though. I want to say something unusual, something you don't normally get, something that Okay, here. Let's do this one. This is from Minds, and Minds itself, the companies, decided to post this. Freedom of speech supporters respect the rights of their opponents. Censorship supporters deny the rights of their opponents. Pretty clear where the ethical edge is. And of course, we're talking about lawful speech. Minds is actually a pretty good place as far as being. Let's just say that their terms of service pretty much is one of those where if you're doing legal speech, you can do it as long as you're not harassing anybody. Oh, there is a question. You know, Coach Red Pill. Remember that guy? There is a question of whether or not he's alive. Interesting. Let me see. I don't know if this is just a photo. Anyway, so someone on YouTube says Coach Red Pill murdered by Ukrainian Azov battalion. Is Coach Red Pill dead? Dating coach turned Russian something. I don't know what they're saying there. And so I don't know. I don't know if any of that's has been actually turned out to be factual or not. If you remember who wrote Coach Red Pill is, isn't he like a citizen of Colombia or something like that, or some South American country? But spent a lot of time in the U.S. Grew up in the U.S. and then somehow ended up living in Ukraine for the last few years. And he's very skeptical of the Ukrainian government. And so he's been doing these videos and commentary from Ukraine that, let's just say not necessarily supportive of the government there. And apparently he's been someone in the U.S. kind of, I wouldn't say doxed him, but just started pointing out to Ukrainian officials that this guy was over there in Ukraine, bad-mouthing Ukraine. And so apparently he's missing, and now he might be ended. And so I'm not sure if that's what the complete fact of that is, but so that's that. Anyway, let's see. Next up on Cloud Hub, interesting post from Carmine Sabia. Now, he's also on Twitter, but this is something posted on Cloud Hub, where he says, and this is an interesting point, actually. Bill Gates is buying tons of farmland. 18 food processing plants in the United States have burned to the ground in the last 5 months. Now we're going to have an issue with the farmers in Ukraine because the farmers are fighting. And also, he didn't mention this, but also fertilizer. A huge percentage of fertilizer that we use in the United States just happens to come from Russia. Who do we have economic sanctions and boycotts and shit from or against? That would be Russia. Everybody hold your colons, and when the food bills start popping up at the end of this summer, it's going to get, you think it's bad now? I think it's going to get a lot worse unless they figure something out. So anyway, that's on Cloud Hub. Let's go to Parler, where a couple articles that I'm not going to actually click the articles, but there's some things you can find. So on Parler here, we've got a post by Epoch Times saying the Supreme Court revisited its 56-year-old precedent in Miranda versus Arizona as the justices and lawyers sparred over the extent to which the landmark decision protects criminal defendants and provides a basis for post-trial litigation by acquitted defendants. So they're relooking at Miranda rights. Also, if you scroll down here, they've got a few posts here. Ukrainian officials on Thursday claimed to have found 2 mass graves containing civilian bodies in a village in the Bucha region, where Russian forces allegedly killed hundreds. The Kyiv region police said on Facebook that 2 mass graves containing the bodies of 9 civilians, including a 15-year-old girl, were discovered in the area. Now, interesting. When someone says mass graves, I don't necessarily think 9 bodies. I think like when you say mass, I'm thinking like hundreds or something like that. But still, So they're still talking about that region. And then the third one here, Russian forces are advancing from staging areas to the Donbass region towards Kramatorsk, which continues to be bombarded by persistent rocket attacks. British military update said on Thursday, high levels of Russian air activities continue as Moscow seeks to provide close air support to Russian Vladimir Putin's offensive in eastern Ukraine. So that's on Cloud Hub. And then finally on Getter, let's see. Juanita Broderick. If you're familiar with Juanita Broderick, who's, I think she just recently got banned from Twitter. Juanita Broderick is one of the women that has had that accused Bill Clinton of the forced sexual activity, starts with an R, and for a long time she's maintained that happened, and I think there was a settlement at some point, but still she is very adamant about claiming that. Anyway, got banned from Twitter apparently for, I don't know for what, but anyway, she says Peppermint Patty is losing it. She will flop at MSNBC just like Chris Wallace did at CNN. So apparently, what happened is, if you don't know who Peppermint Patty is, that would be Jen Psaki. That would be this ambiguously interesting young lady. And she now, this is in the theme of masks today, but let's just give you a preview of what we're talking about. So she was a little bit triggered, I hate that word, by the mask ruling on airplanes. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki is among those that appear to be triggered by the court's decision to end the mask mandate on airplanes and other means of travel. On Monday, Judge Catherine Kimball Mizell, who was appointed by former President Donald Trump, struck down the mandate that required masks to be worn on airplanes, trains, buses, and other public transportation. The ruling prompted attacks on both the decision and the judge herself from Democrats who disagreed with the ruling. New York Times reported, in her ruling, Judge Mizell adopted a narrow interpretation of the authority Congress granted to the CDC to issue rules aimed at preventing the interstate spread of communicable diseases. The law says the agency may take such measures as it deems necessary and provides a list of examples, like sanitation. The judge wrote that this power was limited to things like cleaning property, not requiring people to take hygienic steps. If Congress intended this definition, the power bestowed on the CDC would be breathtaking, she wrote, and it certainly would not be limited to modest measures of sanitation like masks. The administration quickly announced it would appeal the decision. I don't think that's a good idea. The Justice Department and the CDC disagree with the district court's decision and will appeal, subject to CDC's conclusion that the order remains necessary for public health, it said. Well, if it remains necessary for public health, why do we only have to do it on modes of transportation? I mean, if it's truly essential, you would think they'd have to do it at restaurants and other buildings and any place you go, but only on airplanes. On airplanes with this circulation of... it recirculates air rivaling any operating room in the country. In fact, they are far more efficient air circulation devices than what's in operating rooms. But anyway, let's see. Someone has a quote here. I understand the judge's ruling is something that, independent judiciary has made. However, you saw a lot of Americans. Wait a minute. I want to see Jen talking about this. Oh my God. Oh, what's the name of this show today? What did I have? What was my title? Is it like Masking Virtue? I think I called it. Yes, Masked Virtue. This is a good example of masked virtue. Anyway, let me go back to where I was here. There we go. I understand. Who said this? On Tuesday, Psaki was asked about the response video of people celebrating on airplanes that have been shared on the internet and if she thought that meant Americans have had it with mask mandates. Little secret here. We have. Here's what Psaki said. I understand that the judge's ruling is something that, independent judiciary has made. However, you saw a lot of Americans, immediately pulling off their masks in airplanes, very happy about the change. Is the administration concerned that the public is moving on, with the CDC and that the country is in a different place where the administration is in? A reporter. Oh, that's the reporter asking the question. And then Jan Psaki said, well, I would note, while I've seen those videos, anecdotes are not data, right? And certainly that does not tell a part of the story. We do not make these decisions based on politics or based on the political whims on a plane or even a poll, the press secretary said. But I would note, in polls, and data, lengthier data, there are still a lot of people in this country who still want to have masks in place. Either they have immunocompromised relatives, they have kids under 5, whatever it may be. So even on the pure politics, I don't think there's a concrete story at this point, she said. She was not alone, as many took to Twitter to express disdain with the decision. Now, let's go. Here we go. Look at this. This will be the first preview of some masked virtue. Wait a minute. Good morning, Chicago Mike. Good morning, Brent Hayes. Hang on a second. There's probably a couple others I'm going to say hi to before I go to show you some masked virtue coming up right next. Chicago Mike, Brent Hayes. Who else showed up? CNN sucks. This is CNN. And I think that's it. Is that everybody? Did I miss anybody else? Well, if I missed you, just keep talking. I'll in the chat and I'll be there. 24 in the room, 12 likes. Hit the like button while you're thinking about it right now, because I just said it. And share the stream before, during, and after the show. pdognight.live if you want to drop some nickels in the what's that called? The tip jar. Throw some tips in the tip jar. Or you can use YouTube Super Chat if you don't mind giving Susan 30%. Oh, Maddie! Maddie's here! Nice to see you, Maddie. All right, let's get back to what I was just doing, because showing you some mass virtue. You remember this? What was it? Isn't this the woman that Roseanne Barr got in trouble for saying something about Valerie Jarrett wearing my mask, no matter what non-scientists tell me I can do? Excuse me, Valerie Jarrett. Let me just say something to you here. There's not a single scientist out there that's telling you to not wear a mask. Okay? This doesn't say that you cannot wear a mask. Just saying that the mask requirements are not required. That sentence didn't make any sense. But there she is, Valerie Jarrett, letting you know that she has virtue. Virtue! That's what she's doing right now by saying, wearing my mask no matter what non-science tell me to. Virtue! I have virtue! That's what she's telling you. How about this one? Jeffrey Toobin, who not only will probably wear a mask while he's in public, but may pull out his penis and rub it until it does things that you don't want to get on you. Who says the decision by the young Trump appointed... Wait a minute, hold on. I am going to do a dramatic interpretation of Jeffrey Toobin and what he's saying. The decision by the young Trump appointed judge ending the mask mandate on travel shows in the federal judiciary has turned into the Senate. Democratic and Republican judges that live in different worlds and rule differently. You know, I really know that none of you needed to see that interpretation of Jeffrey Toobin, but hey, I'm just telling you. Paul Krugman, who is wrong about everything. Paul Krugman, a prediction about masking. Soon we'll be seeing many incidents in which those who chose to protect themselves with KN95, etc., face harassment, even violence, because this was never about freedom. Motherfucker. Shut up, Krugerman. You're an asshole. You're an asshole! Rosanna Arquette. Rosanna Arquette. I will not fly without a mask. Okay, and? Does anybody even know who you are anymore? I guess I'm old. Robert Reich! Another Terranome. Welcome to the Terranome. Let me get this straight. I should do it in a Robert Reich voice, though. Let me get this straight. Wearing a mask to save lives during a pandemic should be a personal choice, but what a pregnant person does with their own body should be mandated by the government. Well, Robert. There are some people who perhaps believe that what the fuck is a pregnant person, first of all? What the fuck? You jackass. What a pregnant person, aka a woman who happens to be pregnant, does with her own body, you're right. The government really shouldn't tell her what to do with her body. Now, that second body inside her, yeah, there's different opinions on that. So, that's just how it goes. Robert Reich, you jackhole. How about, is that it? Oh, that's all. Anyway, we'll have a few more of those later. Anyway, so that was on, what was that on? That was on Parler. So I'll leave those links up today. Moving on, let's talk about a little news. Now, some people were very, very, very upset about this one. Holy smokes. Apparently, Rudy Giuliani was on The Masked Singer, or in the Masked theme still. Oh, I see. I put it over there too. I had this in two places, but and people are just shook that Rudy Giuliani, it is within theme today, by the way. Rudy Giuliani was on The Masked Singer last night, and some people were really pissed. Here's Parker Malloy. I don't know what this person is. Parker Malloy fancies themselves wife of Kayla Becca, writer at TP. I don't know what TP is. But a Media Matters editor, Parker Malloy, says he should be in prison. But Rudy Giuliani is on The Masked Singer right now. Oh, God. I need the vapors. Hello, Sepsis Wolf. I'm sure you're having the vapors about that. Who else is pissed about it? Really? We have failed as a society. Let's see the clip here of this person. I'd probably get in trouble for this, but... Oh, look, the people are just pissed. People are pissed. Look at, do you see, I'm going to leave the sound off, but look at Ken Jeong. These people are mad. They are really pissed off. Watch Kim Jong, or Ken Jeong, look, he's fucking mad. I bet he walks off the show. These people hate, they're just so filled with hate. Now some people are laughing about it. Some people are tripping out completely. Former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani. There's some people that are just freaking. Some people are clapping. Ken Jeong, look, he's just got his arms folded. He can't stand this. I bet I think he walked off the show. I'm pretty sure he did. Oh, that's who's the blurred line guys? Who's the blurred guy who's saying blurred lines? That's who that other guy in the middle is. Okay, so anyway, let's see what it is. Let's put the sound back on.
I think it surprises us all that you're here on The Masked Singer. Why? Me too. Man, what made you decide to do this?
Look at Ken. Ken's pissed.
Granddaughter, Grace. And I want her to know that you should try everything, even things that are completely unlike you and unlikely. And I couldn't think of anything more unlike me and unlikely than this. And I enjoy.
Yeah, see, some of these people are just laughing and whatever.
It just seemed like it would be fun. And I don't get to have a lot of fun.
I just would like to know, in your package, it said you officiated 200
Right.
weddings. Is that true?
Absolutely true. But the mayor of New York can marry people. And when I found out I could do that, I took advantage of doing a wedding anytime I could, because being mayor can be a very tough job. You deal with tragedy. So if you can do a wedding, it kind of lifts your day. It's kind of like doing the show. Why I did the show.
Right. And your
Did
family-
Kim Jong say? Did Ken stay on? Did he stay?
Better reason to do a show like this, man.
I have to tell you, this was a really wonderful experience.
Oh, so glad. Thank you.
Notice how they don't show the panel in whole because Ken left. Oh no, he didn't. He just folded his arm, never said nothing. Anyway, he's pissed. Get over it, bitch. I only know white lines. Oh, dude. Yeah, Robin Thicke. No, is it Robin Thicke? Who's the dad? I don't know which Thicke is which. Anyway, yeah, the plagiarizing one. Is that Robin Thicke? I don't know. I only know white lines. White. Do you know white lines? White lines go through my mind. You remember that? Who knows that song? What is it? Something. What's the name of that group? I can't remember. Anyway. So here's how the Daily Beast reports this. Rudy Giuliani singing Bad to the Bone on The Masked Singer is a new low point for reality TV. Really, motherfucker? A new low point? Are you serious? I'm sure there have been more low points. Any Maury Povich show is a low point, but I don't know if they consider that whatever. Oh, I can't unlock the. Oh, shoot! I can't read this. This is a locked article. They locked this article. Why would they lock this article? That's stupid. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find this, because I want to see this. This is the version I want to read. So let's see if it happens here. Okay, now, nope, it isn't. Now, because granted, see, a lot of the stuff that I do on here, is like breaking news. So this was just from last night apparently, and so these articles are just coming out. So a lot of people haven't even had a chance to archive these though. So I'll have the archived article in here later. Anyway, let's get more news going on. Hang on a second here. Queen Elizabeth's trending this morning. Why? Well, because today is Queen Elizabeth's 96th birthday. Yes, the Queen. I was going to say the Queen Mother, but she's not the Queen Mother. She's the Queen. The Queen is 96 today. Her Majesty the Queen was born on April 21st, 1926, and turns 96 on Thursday. The official celebration will be held on June 2nd with the traditional Trooping the Colour Parade as part of a 4-day event celebrating the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Keep here on Twitter for updates. So there's several articles on that in the in this thread, but I'm not going to go through anymore. Oh, a happy birthday song for the Queen. Let's see how this goes. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. I guess the band plays and stuff. I don't know what if any of this is live. During the change of the guards at Windsor Castle, the Coldstream Band played out a version of Happy Birthday to celebrate the Queen's 96. Let's see if this is right.
You guys, slow up.
Happy birthday to you. Okay, there we go. Happy birthday, Queen Elizabeth. And yippee! All right. So anyway, so that was happy birthday, Queen Elizabeth. Let's see what else I had. What else did I pull up here? 96 lizard people do have extraordinary life expectancy. Yes, they do. All right, other things trending. Now, Jim Sciutto. I don't know Jim Sciutto. Is he from CNN? I think he is. Yes, CNN. This is CNN. Anchor And Chief National Security Correspondent has made a point here, and this is interesting. There's quite a few people talking about this. So these are pictures of all the world leaders who visited Kyiv since the start of the Russian war on Ukraine. Let me just go through this list because it's interesting. And there's a glaring omission. The Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, EU Council President Charles Michel, EU Commissioner President Ursula von der Leyen, Estonian President Alar Karis, Polish President Andrzej Duda, Latvian President Egils Levits, Lithuanian President Gitanas Nausėda, Australian Chancellor Karl Nehammer, Czech Prime Minister Peter Fiala, Slovenian Prime Minister Janez Janša. There seems to be a couple countries that have not been represented in this parade of foreign leaders who visited Kyiv since the war began, including, I think the United States is not on there. Fascinating. So a lot of people are talking about, why do you make it seem like a negative when we've given more to Ukraine than all of the other countries combined? Have we now? I'm sure we have, because we just like to print more money and give it to whoever wants it, and, but just curious. That's an interesting thing. All right, moving on. What else? Oh, look, I pulled this up because I want to make a point about this type of journalism. Oh my goodness, we have a sponsor. Yes, thank you, Lord. We have a sponsor, and that sponsor, first sponsor today, would be Chicago Mike. And Chicago Mike, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Chicago Mike, very much. Oh, and it's a sponsor. It's a sponsor commercial. Hold on a minute. Here we go. Let me get some sponsor music up here. In just a moment. Let's choose I don't even have a. Let's go. What should the? How about we go 90s pop for today's sponsor music? Instrumentals, no vocals. Turn this shit down, and here we go. This is going to be the sponsor music. Today's show is sponsored by Doxing R Us. When you don't agree with someone and you want to get out their information, then call us at the Washington Doxing R Us. Thank you, Chicago Mike, with a big bullet in the tip jar. We appreciate you more than you know. All right. Fantastic. Nicely done, Chicago Mike. That's a great commercial. If you want to sponsor the show and you want to write, you don't have anything else to say, write a commercial, because you get to show off your talents for writing and satire, which that was beautiful. I love that. I'm a little verklempt about that one. That was good. Anyway. All right. This next article just kind of had me looking at Twitter going, why? Why do they feature this? But apparently they decided that this was something important. Will and Jada Smith. Now, listen to the language in this story and tell me what is wrong with this. This is something called OK Magazine. Are you okay? OK Magazine has an article called. Now get the name of this article. Will and Jada Smith could have one of the ugliest divorces in showbiz history. Really? First of all, that sentence, there's a word in that sentence that really, really has me going, Will and Jada Smith could have one of the... Could have. That's the only word that stuck out to me. What do you mean could have? Are they getting divorced? Do we know of it? Anything? Why are you reporting on this? Actors Will and Jada Smith relationship might be on the rocks in light of Will's actions at the Oscars. According to reports, wait a minute. There's another sentence, just like the last one. Their relationship might be on the rocks in light of Will's actions at the Oscars. According to reports. Who the hell is reporting this? I don't know. Next sentence. Will and Jada Smith may be facing what is being described as one of the ugliest divorces in showbiz history, according to reports. Wait! What? What do you mean they may be facing what being described as one of the ugliest divorces? According to reports. Who's reporting this? Next sentence. Or tweet. These are tweets all going around. It's believed tensions has allegedly grown between the pair following Will's explosive actions at the Oscars last month, where he slapped Chris Rock across the face for making light of Jada's shaved head. Wait! What? It's believed tension has allegedly grown between the pair. What the fuck is this? Next sentence. After he hit the comedian, Jada is thought to have been seen. What do you mean thought to have been seen laughing? She was seen laughing or she wasn't seen laughing. She later broke her silence and shared a cryptic post on Instagram where the mom of two said it was the season of healing. Well, that tells me they're getting divorced, right? And while Will 53 publicly apologized to both the Academy and Chris. I don't remember him apologizing to Chris. I remember him apologizing to the Academy for ruining their little Black Panther party. I'm sorry, I was having flashbacks to Forrest Gump. Anyway, it's thought to have put a strain on his relationship with his 50-year-old wife. Now, look, if you've been following anything about Will and Jada, there's been a strain in that relationship since day one. But I'm not saying anything. This is terrible crap journalism. It's not even journalism. Holy shit. Maybe thought, kind of, sort of, apparently, maybe, according to a report from nobody that said nothing, but hey, here's this kind of, sort of. And here it is again. A source, told Heat Magazine. Wait a minute. Heat Magazine? They told Heat Magazine. Aren't you okay, magazine? Who the F is Heat Magazine? Ever since the Oscar scandals, tensions between the two have been palpable, but there have been problems for years, but they're barely speaking right now. Okay? Adding if they were to split, Will has a fortune of $350 million that Jada would be entitled to half under California law. It could be if they were to split, it could be one of the ugliest divorces in showbiz history to drag on longer than Angelina and Brad's did. How do you know? What planet? What planet? Of course, you know what? Let me ask you something. And this is just for y'all because clearly you're the only ones listening to me. Let's say they decided that they were going to get a divorce. Now, could you see Will Smith, if you've been paying attention to Will Smith, and I don't know why this is one of those things I don't even really give a shit about. Do you think Will Smith would be really hard go super hard with lawyers and shit against her? He can barely talk back to her. I'm just saying. This is crazy. This whole story. Now you can read the full story at OK. The whole story is going to be right there. It's going to be in the page unavailable. Sorry, we can't serve this content in the country you're visiting from. Oh my God, I didn't even know that. Oh my God. Okay, well, the link will be there. Hilarious. This is, okay. From the UK. It's apparently a UK gossip rag that you'd use to line your bird cages with. Anyway, I just thought that is as bad of a clickbait article as I've ever seen, with so many ifs, buts, ands, coulda, shouldas, and woulda, and might be's, and could be's, and apparentlys. It's terrible. But on that note, I have such much more reliable sponsors that will take care of the problem. Thank you, Ty Alexander, for sponsoring the show. And let me get some appropriate sponsor music. We're doing 90s pop today. Let's try this. Happy Laid Back. Let's go with this. This feels good. Kind of a Barry White feel to it. From the studio that brought you Asian Batman. From the producers that brought you Gay Superman, comes the newest superhero, Masked Virtue. Watch him muzzle the criminal element in theaters soon. Masked Virtue. Signal that virtue for all to see. Thank you, Ty Alexander, for that lovely, lovely small bullet and ad. All right. Well done, Ty Alexander. Thank you very much. We appreciate you very much with your superior ad writing skills. And Chicago Mike's was really good too. All right, let's move on. Now, this next one, this is trending, and it is an interesting article, and I'm because I'm halfway between Back the Blue and Fuck the Police, somewhere in that things at certain times, and this is one of those where, well, the police screwed up. Now I'm a friend of law enforcement, but when they screw up, then you need to say they screwed up. And this one, they screwed up. Apparently, this couple in San Francisco, which is a crime-ridden hellhole, police asked a couple, the only black business owners in town, to prove they owned their own store. The fallout sparked racial reckoning in this quiet Bay Area enclave. This is a wild story. So let's see if the San Francisco Chronicle's version of this is free to the public. Yes, it is. So police asked a black couple to prove they own the store. The fallout sparked racial. Now, I hate articles like this, but anyway. On a late summer night 2 years ago, Tiburon Police Department asked Yima Khalif and to prove he owned Yima. Oh, hang on. Oh no, is this one of these things? No. Oh, you bastards. I wanted to read it from there. Well, here, let's just try something real quick. I'm pretty sure we'll get a version of this. Hang on. I never scrolled before, so let's see if that's there. I bet it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, it was archived 4 hours ago. Back to the story. Thank you. To prove he owned Yima, the local clothing store that bears his name. At the time, Khalif and his wife, Hawi Awash, were the town's only black business owners. The fallout from that August 2020 encounter shoved the quiet coastal enclave to the center of a racial justice moment that began just months earlier with George Floyd's murder. But after initially threatening a $2 million lawsuit in federal court, the couple says they were able to achieve meaningful reforms by staying out of the courtroom and directly engaging with town officials. On Tuesday, the couple stood in front of their store, Tiburon's Casual, but Tony downtown. And what? Stood in front of their store in Tiburon's Casual, but Tony downtown to announce those reforms. Changes include police policy and training updates, as well as the formation of a citizens advisory panel to provide a forum between residents and police. One of the store owners is expected to serve as a member. The couple also received a $150,000 payment, a portion of which they say will go to a scholarship fund they run through the store. Khalif and Awash haven't reached a settlement with the neighboring city of Belvedere, which also had an officer at the store that night. David Anderson, one of their attorneys, said Belvedere's leaders weren't up for the conversation that those in Tiburon were. A message left with the city managers wasn't immediately. Now, here's the thing. I don't know why you'd go against the city that you're in is the one who has the agreement to have his officers come in. And it's the city you're in that has police agreements with neighboring police departments. So I don't know why they would go after the other city. And who knows? But you know what? Here's one thing I think. So what happened anyway? So these people were in their store. Here, let's see the story here, because I want to tell you what the story is. Okay, so all this stemmed from an August 21st, 2020 incident that was recorded by officer's body cam. Around 1 a.m., Officer Isaac Madfis approached the couple as they were restocking after closing. Asked what they were doing. Khalif said that he and Awash were doing our thing. What's your thing? Asked the officer. Is there a problem? Khalif said. Madfis continued questioning Khalif, who asked. Now, here's the thing. I don't really care who you are, what you look like. It is a little weird that people are in a clothing store at 1 a.m. And if I owned a clothing store, I don't care who was in the store. I wouldn't mind if the police asked me what I was doing there. But hey, let me finish the article. And so Khalif said, is there a problem? Madfis continued questioning Khalif, who asked to speak to a supervising officer. Madfis kept pointing out how late it was, that it stood out to see people there. That seems reasonable somewhat, and I don't know if it. What does it have? Okay, hang on. What stands out to you? 3 black people in a store? Khalif asked. I don't want to argue, the officer said. I just want you to tell me why you're here. At 1 a.m. in a clothing store. Now, all they would say, you know what? If he would have just answered the question, we're stocking our shelves. This is my store. That's all he would have had to say. Now, anyway, if that would have been the first thing out of his mouth, I think this would have went differently. But apparently, as if the police officer is supposed to know this is his store. Anyway, let me just finish on. But now, what I want to know is if the officers pressed them on after he said he owned the store and how much. But anyway, I don't want to argue the officer. I just want to know, tell me why you're here. Sergeant Michael Blast arrived and suggested Khalif put his key in the door lock to prove he and Awash belonged there. As Khalif began to apply, a neighbor interjected. That's his store, the white man shouted from the balcony. Oh, there was a savior there. Good. Anyway, the officers thanked the man and left. Is that the entire incident? Police Chief Michael Cronin retired in September 2020 amid backlash over the incident. Blasey also resigned. Mattis remains an officer in Tiburon, and the town manager Greg Chanis said the chief's retirement was planned before the event. Okay, I'm confused. As part of the reforms announced Tuesday, officers are expected to begin carrying business cards with information about how to raise concerns over interactions. The police department started a pilot program where community liaisons help residents with any police concerns or needs. I want to know if was the officers rude to them, or they just said, I'm sorry, I don't care what your race is. If you're in a clothing store in the middle of the night, and now, look, you just said, we're just stocking the shelves. I own the store. I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused. But anyway, this is trending. And, here's one thing I do appreciate about this, though. These people settled this business with the city and with the courts, and they got some reforms. And did they have some major protests or whatever because of it? No, I like how they handled it. But I'm wondering why anyone, I don't care what your race is. If it was a restaurant at 1 a.m, I wouldn't think twice. But people at a store in the middle of the night, I would wonder. All right, let's move on so I can finish up all these because I guess I'm going to go through most of this today. And also trending today, former president, maybe, well, I say former president, but who knows who has the puppet hand up, the puppet hand up Joe's ass right now. But former President Barack Obama, oh, they got there before I even said it. Former President Barack Obama and his lovely wife of however many years they've been married. Apparently, it says the Obamas are to end exclusive deal with Spotify. Now, if you're not familiar with this deal, they had a deal with Spotify to do a podcast. And, so anyway, Higher Ground, President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama's media company, is ending its exclusive podcast deal with Spotify and is shopping for other partners in the podcasting space. Variety has confirmed. Now, I wonder if this has anything to do with Joe Rogan. No, I think Spotify asked them to go somewhere else. The Obamas are exiting their exclusive pact with Spotify, originally inked in 2019, after being frustrated with the company's exclusive terms. Primarily, they want to have their podcast programming distributed as widely as possible, according to two sources familiar with the situation. Higher Ground also disagreed with Spotify over how many of its shows would feature the former president and first lady, as first reported by Bloomberg. Now, wait a minute. Disagreed with Spotify over how many of its shows would feature the former president. See, because the reason Spotify wanted them and gave them this big contract, because they thought the president and the first lady would be the ones on the shows. You know, they have that deal with Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan does the shows. But the Higher Ground, it's not necessarily Barack Obama and Michelle Obama on the show. Higher Ground's current deal with Spotify runs through October 2022. According to one source, Spotify declined to make an offer to renew the agreement. That's the actual truth. I knew we'd get to it somewhere, because listen how they began this. Look how it's titled. Obama's to end exclusive deal with Spotify. But to get all the way down here, it says Spotify declined to make an offer to renew the agreement. This makes it sound like the Obamas are kicking Spotify to the curb. Oh no. They haven't been offered to renew the agreement from Spotify. I was curious. That sounded weird because I heard Spotify dumped them. And reps for Spotify and Higher Ground declined to comment. Podcasts that Higher Ground has produced for Spotify will continue to launch on the streaming platform through the fall, according to Bloomberg report, but the company is currently in talks with other audio distribution companies, including Amazon-owned Audible and iHeartMedia, in hopes of reaching a non-exclusive. See, they just want to be on more platforms. Joe Rogan took the $100 million and said, we'll just go on Spotify and we'll play the replays on YouTube. Or these clips, but anyway. The Higher Ground's first podcast for Spotify was the Michelle Obama podcast, released in the mid-2020s, which at one point had ranked as the most listened to Spotify original to date. The company also produced Renegades Born in the USA, a series of conversations between Barack Obama and Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen, released on Spotify last year. In January, Higher Ground's The Big Hit Show, focused on transformational moments in pop culture, premiered on Spotify. The company also released Tell Them I Am, a podcast collection of universal stories from Muslim voices on the platform. So anyway, so in reality, they kicked him to the curb. Also, because didn't they also kick like Harry and What's-Her-Face to the curb too? What's this? I think there's even some in this article about that. They've spent millions to establish itself as a top podcast destination, including securing a $200 million plus deal with Joe. Controversial. host Joe Rogan to exclusively distribute his popular podcast, as well as a deal worth more than $60 million with Call Her Daddy host Alex Cooper. Who the hell is that? Call Her Daddy? I mean, who's Alex? Who is Alex Cooper? It's Alex, not Alice, not School's Out for Summer, dude. But this Alex Cooper. Her. Yeah, she used to be like with Barstool Sports. She's a sex positive. It's a sex positive podcast called Call Her Daddy. It used to be with Barstool Sports. Interesting. She seemed to be a fine individual. Okay. Anyway, also don't they have Meghan Markle's podcast too? But let's see. Oh, now Spotify also has an exclusive agreement with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Archewell, which earlier this year said the couple urged the company to make changes to prevent serious harms from COVID misinformation. Present on its platform. That was an apparent reference to Joe Rogan, who was the target of Spotify boycott instigated by Neil Young, which that was successful. Where are we at here? Neil Young, and joined by other musicians and talents in protest of COVID misinfo on the Joe Rogan Experience. You know what's funny about that? Has anyone heard of any huge fallout from Neil Young supposedly boycotting Spotify and removing his music from Spotify? By the way, you can still find his music on Spotify because he doesn't own most of his earlier stuff anyway. But was there like a big army of people who left Spotify because of Joe Rogan other than Neil Young? Now, Archewell said it was proceeding with plans to produce Markle's first podcast for Spotify called Archetype. So they're going to do it anyway. They were encouraged by talks with Spotify execs to address their concerns. So anyway, but Spotify kicked the Obamas to the curb, I guess. Well, interesting. All right, now let's. I still have a couple more things. Tulsi Gabbard. Then we'll get to a few more mask things. Then we're gonna get out of here. Tulsi Gabbard's also trending. By the way, the Obamas, so what? But FTG, Harry, and Meghan. Oops, I think I spelled her name wrong, but whatever. FTG, Harry, and Meghan. Don't care. Do not care. All right, Tulsi Gabbard's trending because of something Tucker Carlson says. We're going to watch a little clip from Tucker Carlson. I don't do a whole bunch of clips, so let's do a clip from Tucker. Because she's getting a little bit of heat from these jackals. What date? Wait a minute. What's the date of this? Let me check this real quick. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard says she sent cease and desist letters to Mitt Romney and Keith Olbermann after she was called a traitor. That's from April 20th. That's from yesterday. Well, let's see what she did. Oh, she was on Tucker last night telling this. All right, here's the little clip.
In Washington, that was called McCarthyism.
I'm sorry. Let's start.
Until pretty recently, it was considered totally out of bounds to question someone's patriotism because of a political difference in Washington. That was called McCarthyism.
Yes, it was.
One of the lowest sort of people engaged in that. Now it's completely par for the course for people on the left to accuse you of treason if you dare to disagree with Joe Biden in any way. Case in point, Tulsi Gabbard, who was a Democrat and a former sitting member of Congress, challenged the idea that it would be a good policy for the United States to fight a hot war with Russia. For saying that, and by the way, she speaks for the overwhelming majority of Americans in making that obvious point, but for doing it, members of both parties called her a traitor. Quote, Tulsi Gabbard is parroting false Russian propaganda, wrote Mitt Romney
come on,
of Utah.
Tucker, you
her
know she
treasonous
is.
lies may well cost lives.
Russian propaganda.
Keith Olbermann, who is ludicrous but still alive, agreed. He said Tulsi Gabbard is a, quote, Russian asset who belongs in jail. Now, this kind of stuff flies around the internet all day long, and most people just kind of shrug it off and keep moving.
Now, Mitt Romney, I think he's little bit, well, self-serving prick. But he is more on the respectable side of the world, and when he says something like that, there's still a handful of people who listen to him. Now, Keith Olbermann, Keith Olbermann, I don't this name rings out as a joke to me, and so I wouldn't be concerned about what Keith Olbermann says, although he is very popular with a certain class on the left that still thinks he's the coolest thing since dirt. But anyway.
But Tulsi Gabbard doesn't seem like she's going to. She's on the verge tonight of taking legal action against both Mitt Romney and Keith Olbermann.
By the way, because they're calling her treasonous. Now, treasonous is a specific term that's legal, has a legal definition, and it's interesting because people who have a different opinion about the Ukraine-Russia thing, you know me, I'm ambivalent to both those countries. I think they both suck, and I don't have a dog in the fight, although I think the Russians are doing some shitty stuff. But we're not at war with Russia. We are not at war, an ally of Ukraine's. In fact, they're not even in NATO, so we don't have any legal international obligations to that country, even though apparently a certain Biden family member business dealings are probably very important to other certain Biden family members. And apparently the people who've been screaming Russia, Russia, Russia over the last 6 years have very keen interest into hating Russia. And so this is their good chance to do that because Russia's doing some stupid, terrible shit. But we're not a part of the fight. We don't have a dog in the fight. We don't have a legitimate relationship with either of the countries. And so we're still spending a hell of a lot of dough to prop up one side and keep the war going. And maybe our some of those defense companies that sell a lot of shit to a lot of places around the world can sell off some of their older stuff so they can keep putting together new shit to sell to us. And then we can keep their budgets going. But the idea that someone would be called a traitor for not having not wanting to war, not doing this, not doing that to someone that's not even necessarily our enemy because we're not in the war, calling them a traitor or treasonous, which has a specific definition, maybe not the best thing to do. But let's see what Tulsi Gabbard has to say.
We should tell you, you probably know, Tulsi Gabbard is a U.S. Army Reserve officer. She
is. She's in the reserves, too. Calling her treasonous. Amazing.
Thanks, Tucker.
So how do you plan to respond to this?
By the way, wait. Let's come back. I'll come back to that question. And she's a fine individual. If you know what I'm saying.
Thanks, Tucker.
So how do you plan to respond to this?
Well, first of all, let me say that I took an oath. As you mentioned, I still serve in the U.S. Army Reserves today. I'm a lieutenant colonel. And 19 years ago, when I enlisted in the military, I took an oath to support and defend our Constitution. I took that very same oath when I was elected to serve in Congress, where I served for 8 years. Senator Mitt Romney has taken that oath, as has every other member of Congress who has had the privilege of serving.
Yep.
And if Mitt Romney had read the Constitution, he would know that treason, the crime that he's accusing me of that is punishable by death, is so serious that our founders deemed it to be the only crime worthy of being defined in our Constitution. And so the situation that we're facing here is a very serious one, not because it's about me, but because it has a much bigger impact on our country. When powerful and influential people basically threaten and intimidate people into silence, as Mitt Romney, Keith Olbermann, and others are doing, they're hoping to achieve that effect, that if anybody dares speak out against the government, that if anybody dares to criticize whatever the permanent Washington establishment's narrative is, then you will be smeared as a traitorous, treasonous traitor. And frankly, it also, if Mitt Romney is seriously believes that I have committed treason, why hasn't he brought any evidence or brought charges?
Ding!
He clearly doesn't care that there are any consequences. Or, as I mentioned, he's just trying to intimidate and bully me and others into silence.
Now, before Tucker follows up, I'm going to say it again. There's a definition to treason. And like she said, it's the only crime that is so serious that it's part of our Constitution. And who would she be treasonous against for speaking out on the war or getting ourselves involved in a war that we are not a part of? Just food for thought.
Let me ask a question. So Mitt Romney famously dodged the war in Vietnam. He's a coward. You served in the U.S. military, so you talked to
That's cold, Tucker. That's cold. Holy shit. There's a lot of people who avoided the war in Vietnam, and I wouldn't necessarily say that they were cowards, okay? A privileged East Coast prick, sure, but not necessarily a coward. Oh, no, he was from Michigan. Wasn't he his family from Michigan? Whatever. But he certainly was privileged and found a way to get out of it. But anyway.
people who also serve and who might be called to fight this war against Russia. Of the people you know who are currently serving in the U.S. military, how many believe that raising questions about whether a war with Russia is a good idea constitutes treason? Do a lot of your fellow officers think what you said is treasonous?
Not a single person that I know that I've had the privilege of serving with.
She's a
and
lieutenant
even those
colonel
who I don't know personally,
Army
who take
Reserve.
this oath to support and defend our Constitution, to be loyal to our country, wearing the uniform, knowing that we can be called to give our lives in service to our country at any time. I'm confident in saying that they would not agree with his accusations.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Okay, so anyway, that's why she's trending this morning. Romney was trending this morning. A couple of these people were trending this morning. But you know what? Stop. You know what? Stop calling people who aren't on board with your little yellow and blue flag in your fucking profile just because they don't go along with all this shit. Stop calling them treasonous. We're not in a war. We don't have a dog in this fight other than we're protecting the Biden family financial interests. So shut the fuck up, peoples. Anyway, all right, let me finish up with the mask because I said I would have a few more masked virtue. And oh boy, is there plenty of that this morning. So this is someone named Dr. Emily Ricotta. I don't know if that's what, maybe that's what her, no, God, don't tell this joke. Resist the joke about someone's thighs. I couldn't help it. It slipped. She's saying, in defiance of the mask mandate removal, I'm double masked and bringing some sass to the airport this morning. Oh, you are so virtuous. Yes, thank God. You are a clown. Trust me, I'm an epidemiologist. You're the only epidemiologist. So people are just laughing because it's not defiance. Where are you people hearing that the judge said you cannot wear a mask? Yeah, it's not defiance. Look. Gotch. By the way, I should have read my disclaimer in the description, please. I'm not going to take time to do it today. Don't contact her unless you want to. If you want to make fun of her on your own, great. But don't do it because I said anything, because I'm not pointing you anywhere. Anyway, she said there's nowhere in the order by the judge from Florida that says you can't wear a mask. All it says, there should be no mask mandate if you think you're protecting yourself being double masked. Now, what's funny about this woman is an epidemiologist, right? And she says, I'm being sassed and double masked. Anyone notice something about her mask? I'm going to see if I can I make this? No, I can't. Anyway, you notice something about her masks? And she has that little surgical mask there, and then she has this mask here. Do you notice something about this epidemiologist who's so virtuous and so special because she's wearing a mask? What do you notice about the masks? That's a really poorly fitting mask. that mask ain't doing shit for you. And then I'm not just talking about the cloth mask on the outside, but the paper mask that she's wearing on the inside. Notice how she doesn't have it pinched over her nose so it touches her face. It's not, this ain't doing any good whatsoever. And so many people in this. Oh, here's some of the replies are precious though. They're funny because these are people who are making fun of her. Carmine Sabia, we just met him earlier, says, "It's not defiance. Where are you people hearing that the judge said you cannot wear a mask?" That's what I just said because I read that before. And then there's Tim Young here says, "Oh, thank you for saving my life today. You are a true hero." This is the face of a true hero. Masked virtue. I'm telling you, a true hero. And Cat Turd, one of my favorite. This guy's just funny, okay? And he's, I think Taylor Lorenz is going to do an expose on him next. Anyway, stunning and brave. Yes, stunning and brave. You are. Bring your double mask and bringing some sass to the airport. I see someone up there said she accidentally added an S to ass. Yes, you are an ass. And ricotta, that's ricotta thighs. That's too good. Anyway, and then let's see. I'll say it. But this person. Oh, another virtuous person says, "I'll trust an epidemiologist over what some airline, politician, or businessman says about COVID every day of the week." Well, fancy you should mention that, because here is an epidemiologist. This is Arish Kulik. Okay, this is from Dr. Harvey Reish, MD, PhD, Professor of Epidemiology, Yale School of Public Health, and the Yale School of Medicine. Was a 2022 guest on Laura Ingram's show. Now, I know Laura Ingram is one of those right-wing ideologues who certainly wouldn't understand science, but that's why she brought an epidemiologist on her show. And he said that it was plausible that masks were helpful, but not supported by science. Science! Dr. Harvey Reish, MD, PhD, is quoted, "There's a big difference between things that seem plausible and things that are scientific. And so lockdowns are plausible, but they are not scientific. The scientific evidence, as we've seen, is how harmful they have been. Lockdowns are harmful." And then, let's see, I have to sit down and analyze these mistakes. There are no scientific evidence to support the use of masks or lockdowns in combating the stupid 19 virus, which is what we have been using. Congress should ensure that we don't mask or lock down again without scientific evidence. And they have none. Hi, Cool Frog. I see you up there. Anyway, next. Oh, and then I have one more mask thing and then one more airplane thing. Okay, then we're going to be done. So here's the new mask thing. Any of you are familiar with Roland Martin? Roland Martin is the, he has this little Roland Martin Unfiltered show. He likes to wear that daily digital show. He used to be, I want to say he was, he's like one of those political pundits they'd like to bring on CNN or MSNBC or whatever. And okay, I got to see if I can find this. Hold up. This is funny because Roland Martin is kind of a buck dancing fool. Let me see. Roland Martin wobble. I'm going to look this up. Or Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton wobble. Let's see if we can find this. Yes, here it is. Here's the clip. Roland Martin is a kind of he fancies himself an activist, and he's a personality, and he was on when Hillary Clinton was running for president. Here's Roland Martin. This is this jackhole. Here it is, Roland Martin teaching Hillary Clinton to do the wobble. Yes, the wobble. Here, listen, watch this.
That is it for us. I do got to ask you, do you know how to wobble?
Do you know how to wobble? To Hillary Clinton.
Sorry, what?
Do you know?
Hillary Clinton. He's out here with some black folks, and she's probably got some hot sauce in her purse. And since he got the hot sauce in her purse, you know she's down with the black folks. So Roland Martin asked her a question of, Do you know how to wobble? This is pathetic. Watch.
You know how to wobble? You don't. You know how to wobble? You just lost the black vote right there. Yeah. Karen?
Now watch. And nobody in this panel in the back or any in this audience knows anything about no wobble. But this is an old dance from when people my age used to dance. And so he apparently is going to show Hillary Clinton how to wobble. Watch this patheticness.
The black folks in your staff will teach you how to do the wobble. Trust me.
Can you show me how you do it?
Oh, I can show you how to do it. You're going to pick up some votes, trust me.
But I got to see it in order to know.
Oh, now she's throwing out her black. See, she do a little black voice. Nah, I got to see it now. She tried to sound like that woman on the pancake box.
Hello, you need some music. I don't really need the music, but I'm just saying.
Okay, who can show me? Come on, don't be shy.
I told y'all Black Network we do a little bit different.
Oh, yes.
Now don't leave me hanging out here.
Put my iPod
don't
on.
leave me hanging. What kind of talk is that, Hillary Clinton? You're a more than middle-aged white woman. Don't leave me hanging. Don't be talking like us black folks.
Maybe, yeah.
Here comes Roland Martin, though.
Plug this up right now.
Because, in order to get the black folk, we got to get you to dance.
Y'all know I'll put it on now. Secretary Clinton.
Come on, Hillary Clinton.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so very much.
Fucking wobble. Well. Uncle Hotep, you know what I'm talking about. You hear me.
Thank you, Roland.
Secretary Hillary Clinton.
Here comes, watch. Here we go. Come on, Roland. Do some dancing. Hey, Uncle Hotep, you got to do what's your character that you do? Tobias. You got to do a Tobias on this one. Anyway, come on, Martin. Come on, Roland. Show her how to wobble. Yes. And
I told y'all need to.
Okay, so that's who Roland Martin is. And here's Roland Martin yesterday. I don't give a damn what some grossly unqualified Donald Trump judge said. I'm double masked and wearing goggles in this Nashville to DC flight. I had COVID in December. Y'all can kiss my ass about me not wanting it again. And any fool saying they don't matter is a damn liar. And there is Roland Martin, double masked, and some damn goggles on. Come on, man. Come on. So there's some heavy duty mass virtue. And my reply was, okay, whatever. But there's people supporting him. I'm with you, Roland. I had COVID in December and through 2 weeks of January. I can't remember even being that sick in my life. I never stopped wearing Hey, dumbass, if you all had COVID whenever you had it, Jimmy Dawes Hotep. Oh, the Hoteps are starting to show up now. If you had COVID in December, Roland, maybe you should go look on the CD website and see what it says about the acquired immunity and how that helps you. Why are you double masked? Now look, I know you're a little round, and the extra round people might have some issues with COVID. So maybe you're protecting yourself, but there's nobody on this planet so far that said you may not wear a mask on airplanes. So you wear your mask, you shout, virtue, virtue, and shut the fuck up. That's all I got to say. All right. Last thing for the show, there's been an incident, and this is going to be trending today, and I, as a person who gets up early and checks the news just so that you hear things before anybody else, are going to find out why Mike Tyson is trending this morning. Michael Tyson. Yes, Mike Tyson, former heavyweight champion of the world. Mike Tyson, who I have photos of him hitting me, and someday I'll probably take him to court for it. Yes, Mike Tyson apparently had an incident on an airplane. And that incident was, he went Will Smith on somebody, but with maybe a little more force because it's Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson repeatedly punches man on a plane and bloodied his face. This is a report from TMZ. I might get in trouble for this, but I don't care. I'll take the sound off. Here's Mike Tyson. There's video of him apparently punching some dude in the face on an airplane because the dude wouldn't shut the fuck up. Oh, the camera went somewhere wrong there. I don't know why. Okay, that was a really short video. Anyway, Mike Tyson seemed to lose his cool on a plane on Wednesday night, repeatedly punching a man in the face after the guy had apparently annoyed him. Oh, you want a picture? You couldn't see that anyway. Anyway, the video sucked anyway. Let me see if I can, let's see. I'm going to try to see if we can see this video again. Here's the video. I don't know. It's there he is. He's punching the guy. See, that's Mike Tyson right there. And he's punching some dude in the face because the dude wouldn't shut the fuck up. I'm pretty sure that was why. And the other guy's trying to help the guy. Anyway, TMZ Sports has learned the incident all went down at around 10:30 p.m. Pacific time as Tyson was slated to fly out of San Francisco International Airport to Florida. A witness on the plane said he and his friends were boarding Tyson's flight. The boxing legend was initially cool with them and the other passengers. The witness tells us Mike took a selfie with him and then was patient with his overly excited buddy who kept trying to talk to the 55-year-old fighter as he sat behind him. Eventually, though, we're told Tyson had enough and the guy behind him talking in his ear and told him to chill. When the guy didn't, that's when the witness says Tyson started throwing several punches to the man's face. Now, I don't care if Mike Tyson's 55 or if he was 85. I don't want Mike Tyson punching me in the face because he has an expert at punching people in the face, and my face don't need to be fucked up. And this guy got his face fucked up because he wouldn't shut the fuck up. And that's how it goes. So anyway, the video we obtained shows Tyson throwing a flurry of blows at the man, which you can see bloodied the passenger's forehead. The witness says Mike walked off the plane just seconds later. We're told the man who was punched received medical attention. He wouldn't shut the fuck up. He needed medical attention. And he went to the police over the incident. We've reached out to the cops for comment, but so far no word back yet. So anyway, Mike Tyson may be relinquishing a bag or two over this incident, and maybe, who knows, depending how far they take it, I hope he might spend some time behind bars. I don't know, unless he starts slinging bars in a courtroom, he might be behind bars. If you understand that terminology, well, put a one in the chat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to go. Hey, you know what? Now, I don't always promote other people's shows, but since Uncle Hotep's in the house, I want to remind you tonight on I think on Hotep Jesus' channel, is the 200th episode of Hotep's Been Told You. Now, these are my friends over there are celebrating the 200th episode. I don't know if they said they might do a call-in show or some shit like that. I don't know. Uncle Hotep. If not, I'll come on. If you let me, I don't know. We'll see. Because tonight is my wife's going to be with the grandchild, so I'm going to have nothing to do, and I'm actually get to watch the show while it's on, as long as I don't go to bed early like I usually do. Anyway, go watch Hotep's Been Told You on Hotep Jesus' channel, and our other friends, Ranting Monkey, and who else has regular shows? Well, those are my two favorites. So go check out some other shows too besides mine. Anyway, I got to go. Ladies and gentlemen, before you leave, make sure you hit that like button like Mike Tyson hits the passenger behind him, or like Will Smith takes care of Chris Rock. And also, what's this? What's this here? Oh, that's I'm gonna leave the links to the wobble up there because I just think that's the funniest damn shit. When I saw that back in it was like I think 2015 or 2016, it must have been 2015, that Roland Martin clip, and I'm like, are y'all serious? Are you all serious? Anyway, hit the like button, share the stream before, during, and after the stream. If you watch a replay, put a comment in the comment section. And before I go, remember, I'm going to put all links to everything I put on here in this description down below during the outro. And thanks to our sponsors today, Johnny Hellcat, Chicago Mike, and Tyre Alexander. Chicago Mike, you are the Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day. All right, got to go. Thanks, everybody. My name's P. Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P. Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P. Dawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.